Hey you guys, it's me, your favorite classmate, and I'm here to talk to you guys about hair, specifically curly hair. Of course, we know the type of hair we have is dependent on our genes, but what exactly makes curly hair different from straight hair? First, we have to understand what hair is composed of. Hair is composed of keratin, a fibrous, resistant protein that gives hair its strength. Now, this protein is made up of long chains of amino acids bonded together. The most abundant bond in the hair is the cysteine bond, which bonds with itself using disulfide bonds. There are two main parts to hair, which is the fiber and the follicle. The fiber is the part that we see, the part that we style, and the follicle is the hole that our actual hair strand comes out of. In straight hair, the follicle is usually circular shaped and the hair comes straight up out of the circle. However, in curly hair, the follicle is asymmetrical, which makes the hair bend to one side or the other. This makes the proteins build up on one side of the hair, which makes the hair curl. This affects where the bonds happen in the hair, and wherever the bonds happen in the hair is where the hair is going to start to spiral around. In straighter hair, the proteins are evenly distributed throughout the hair, so the hair doesn't bend to one side or the other, and therefore it doesn't have the curl. The size and diameter of the follicle can also affect the thickness and the shape of the hair. So, the wider the follicle, the thicker the hair strand, and the smaller the follicle, the smaller the hair strand. And of course, there are pros and cons to having curly hair as opposed to straight hair. In curly hair, it is harder for the oils to travel down to the bottom of the hair strand, which leads to dry and frizzy strands. This is because the oils have to spiral down each and every curl to reach the bottom. In straight hair, however, it is more likely to have tangles because of the angle that the hair strands touch each other. In curly hair, it's a softer angle that the hairs touch each other, even though it is more likely that they bump into each other, but they don't tangle as much. And of course, we all know that there are things that we can do to affect our natural curl texture. So option number one is always heat. Hair straighteners, hair curlers, they break down the weak bonds in our hair so that the shape can be altered. However, there are also more permanent options such as perms, which can give you long-term curls, and relaxers, which can give you straighter strands. And the hair chemicals disrupt the stronger bonds in the hair. Initially, when I researched this topic, a lot of stuff came up about the movement of hair. This was because the movement of curly hair was recently just beginning to be studied in 2012 with the release of the Disney movie Brave. For the first time, animators were able to successfully replicate the movement of curly hair. This was difficult to replicate because unlike straight hair, which is two-dimensional, curly hair is three-dimensional. And of course, there are factors that determine the movement of our hair, such as genes, shampoo, climate, and our hairdresser. Also, since hair thickness, stiffness, and weight is particular to each person and their hair type, the movement of everybody's hair is a little bit different. So when they're doing the animations for the movie Brave, of course somebody's not sitting there drawing how her curly hair is moving each and every second throughout the movie. That would be ridiculous. So they tried to come up with mathematical formulas and algorithms to replicate the movement of curly hair. So when you look at a strand of curly hair, the most common comparison to a strand is a spring. So when the scientists are studying how curls work, they're looking at things like springs, noodles, anything that has weight and kind of curls naturally. So as they're studying hair to do the predictions for the movie, they realized that the movement is really based on two big things, curvature and weight. The curvature is the ratio of the curvature to the length, and the weight is the ratio of weight to the stiffness. Hair behaves differently at different lengths due to its weight, so the longer the hair, the more of a burden the bottom of the hair must carry because curls curl from the bottom. So starting at the bottom, when the hair curls, it goes from a 2D hook, which is what straight hair has, into a 3D local or a 3D global, depending on the length of the hair. So these discoveries about hair can be applied to anything that is flexible and has curvature and weight, not just necessarily curls. So even if you don't have curly hair, I hope you learned something about curls, or I hope you learned something about your hair. Thank you so much for your time, class. I hope you enjoyed it.